Hi, I'm going to teach you how to make the Jammy Margarita. There's a few things to know about this margarita that makes it very fun and easy to make. Using jam, any flavor really works. Whatever flavor of jam you're into, it works very well. The margarita also doesn't have to be made with tequila. You could use vodka or gin. I'm actually going to use some green tea that I have steeping in my beautiful, look how beautiful that is. But I have a tea bag and some water in here, and I'm steeping some green tea. I'm going to use that as my base instead of alcohol today because I'm trying to be mindful about my alcohol consumption, especially because it's only 12:30 in the afternoon. So I'll be using that. And then also we have some limes or lime juice or lime wedges. What I did is I went ahead and I cut my lime into 4 pieces. Oh, pick them up. And I'm actually going to just squeeze these and drop them right into the shaker. Now by doing it that way, I am saving a lot of time. I don't have to juice something. I don't have to go to the store to buy a bottle of juice. I could just use the lime itself. Now this lime was kind of on the larger side. You can kind of see it's a little larger than smaller limes. So I'm going to use 1 whole lime. If you're using a smaller lime, that's kind of the more common size, you're going to use a whole lime plus 2 more wedges. And that's going to yield about 1 ounce of juice. So we're looking for 1 ounce of lime juice. You could also use lemons. Lemons work well too. About 3 pieces of lemon will be about 1 ounce, and 1.5 limes or 1 large lime. So what I'm going to do, here's my cocktail shaker. You could also use a mason jar. I'm going to squeeze these lime pieces, get all the juice out with my fingers, and then drop them into the shaker. By squeezing them and then dropping them in, I'm actually going to get more lime juice out of the limes when I go to shake this with ice. The ice will help muddle and get more lime juice out. And in the lime peels or lemon peels, I'm also going to get some oils into my cocktail. It's going to be really delicious and give it extra flavor. Should have brought a towel, forgot one. It's fine. I'll use my dress under camera like a toddler. So now I'm going to add my jam. I have a tablespoon that I'd use for baking. I'm looking for 1 tablespoon of jam. Approximately 1 tablespoon of jam is the right amount of sweetness that would be in a pretty classically sweet margarita. That's like balanced sour with a kiss of sweetness. 1 tablespoon of jam will get you there. I'm using a bar spoon to get the jam out of the tablespoon, just so I can get that fully removed, or you could just flop it in there. After you do that, I have jam and lime. I want to stir this, but because I have those lime pieces, I'm going to need a little more liquid before I can stir it, and that liquid's going to be my tea or alcohol or an alcohol-free spirit. There's a company called Seedlip that makes an alcohol-free tequila. It's very delicious. All right, I have my tea here. I'm looking for 2 ounces of tea. Now my tea is unsweetened and it's not hot. I don't want to use boiling tea. In a moment, I'm going to put ice in the shaker. And if I have boiling tea, it's going to melt the ice and my cocktail's going to be pretty watery. So I don't want to do that. Now, like I mentioned, you could use just lime juice or lemon juice, and you're looking for 1 ounce. 1 ounce of lemon juice or lime juice. 1 ounce is 2 tablespoons. When I poured that was green tea. When I poured the green tea into my jigger, I poured it to the 2 ounce line, which is the same as 4 tablespoons or 1/4 cup. So we're looking for 1 ounce of lemon or lime juice. You can squeeze it, measure it, and add it to the shaker, or you could do like I did, squeeze the pieces and drop them into the shaker. The biggest issue by doing the more organic approach like I did with the lime pieces in the shaker, we don't know how much lime juice is actually yielded from the limes. It's all a guesstimation. And it's okay. It's okay to do that, but your cocktail might end up being extra sour or extra sweet because you didn't get enough lime juice in there. And so when you measure lime juice, and you're going to have a control, you're going to know how much lime juice you have every time, so your cocktail will taste exactly the same every time you make it. If you're doing the more organic approach, it's going to waver, plus or minus sweetness or sourness depending on how much juice is yielded. So that's like the biggest concern. Next you want to do is you want to stir the jam into the liquid. By stirring the jam to liquid, you're actually helping break that jam down because it's so thick and gelatinous. And so you want to stir that into the liquid so the sugars in the jam break apart so that it will actually emulsify into the ingredients. If you just did 1 clob of jam right into the shaker and then added ice and shook it, the ice actually would solidify the jam, which would keep it from emulsifying. And the whole point of shaking with ice is to make the cocktail cold. Cold cocktails taste better. It's also going to, ice is going to melt a little bit, making water, so dilution is important. A little water dilution absolutely helps in taking away some of the sourness of the lime. It's also going to help emulsify the ingredients. Alcohol, citrus, and sugar are really benefited from being emulsified. Shaking with ice emulsifies them. Shaking also aerates the cocktail, adding a little bit of lightness to it. So I have my ice here. I'm going to add it to my shaker or my mason jar or whatever you're using. You want to use a lot of ice. You want to fill the shaker close to the top with ice. You can see here, there's my shaker with ice, and here's my drinking glass. I'm going to add ice in that glass as well. So now I have ice in both locations. I'm going to shake the cocktail. I'm going to strain the cocktail into the glass with fresh ice. The reason why I'm putting ice in both places is because I'm going to shake with this ice. The ice is going to melt and break down into small pieces. The smaller the pieces, the faster they will dissolve or melt, making water. And so I want to shake with ice, and then I want to strain it into a glass over fresh ice so that this fresh ice keeps the liquid very cold and my cocktail doesn't get watery when I get to the bottom sips. So using a lot of ice means less dilution. Additionally, when I'm shaking in this, I have jam pieces and lime pieces. You could totally shake it and dump the whole thing into a glass and drink it. However, when you drink it, it might, you get like chunks of lime in your mouth. And if you're opposed to that, I am. I really don't like pieces of fruit getting in my mouth when I'm drinking cocktails. I prefer to strain it separately. But, you know, it's your journey. So whatever makes sense for you. If you only have enough ice for one or the other, I really recommend ice in the shaker, because ice is an ingredient in the cocktail. It doesn't say add water. The cocktails say add ice and shake or add ice and stir, depending. Shake cocktails when they're citrus. Shaking melts the ice, making some water, and that is going to help bring the whole cocktail together. So ice is a very important ingredient. So if you only have enough ice to shake or stir with, versus having it in the glass, choose to shake with it, strain it away from it, and drink it in a glass with no ice, or in a stemmed glass if you're feeling fancy. Now when you're shaking, you want the liquid and ice to hit the top and the bottom of whatever vessel you're shaking in. That motion, that hitting the top and the bottom over and over again in a fluid motion, is going to give you the right dilution, aeration, and emulsification. You want to shake like this for about 5 to 7 seconds. See how I'm pushing and pulling away from my body, and I'm kind of doing it with some muscle and some speed. That's going to help my cocktail taste really yummy and emulsified and aerated. All right. Now, I'm going to use this. You might not have this tool at home. It's called a Hawthorne strainer. The strainer is designed to keep the ice in the shaker, allow the liquid to come out of the shaker. So we have our shaker here. And then I'm going to strain my cocktail. Notice I'm kind of giving it a wiggle at the end, a little wiggle to help that liquid move past the lime pieces and the raspberry. Notice that my tin's pretty upside down, so that's going to allow aeration to flow in the shaker and allow that cocktail to really fall in there. And there it is, a Jammy Margarita. Now I talked through this, it's 8 minutes in the video. It's a really fast cocktail to make. You probably have jam in the fridge most times. Getting a lime or having limes around pretty easy. If you're not drinking alcohol at the time, tea is really fast and easy to make, or have a bottle of booze. Totally up to you. It's your journey. Take a sip if you'd like. Yum. Now that's a little more sour than I prefer. And so what I could do right now to make it less sour, I could add some more jam to the shaker and then put the cocktail back in the shaker and stir it and do the thing. I could add some agave, add some liquid agave, put it in there and give it a quick stir. Those are the two options I would do to make this slightly less sour. And like I said, I was estimating. I used the whole lime. Maybe if I'm making another one of these and I have the limes that are the same size, I would use 3 pieces of lime, not 4. So that is the risk I take by not measuring my lime juice. But ultimately, this is delicious. I'm very pleased with the flavor. It's also going to read as more sour because I used tea and not alcohol. Alcohol has natural sugars in it. It's how it's made, and so alcohol is slightly sweeter than tea, and so that's also going to make a difference in the perceived sweetness in the cocktail. The last thing I want to share is if you're into like a salt rim or a sugar rim, you do you. Trader Joe's has these amazing freeze-dried berries. They have berries, cherries, strawberries. I think I've seen watermelon before. What I do, I don't want to open this yet because I'm not going to use it right now and I don't want it to go bad, so I'm going to wait. But what I would do is I would open up the bag and I'd pour some of this into a Ziploc baggie and use something like a muddler or a wooden spoon and then just whack the berry, the freeze-dried whatever, until it has like a nice powder. Add some sugar and or salt, or just salt to it, and then you mix that together, put it on a plate, rub a lime wheel around the edge of your cocktail, dip it into the freeze-dried berries, and now you have a really beautiful garnish salt rim on your thing. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have any questions, please email me. Nice to hang out with you today, and cheers.